Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, September 5th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? Sorry the podcast is so late today. That's a lie. I'm not sorry. I'm full is what I am. I went to a Labor Day party. I had to make a fucking pie. That's what I do. They go, hey, bring something, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, all right, man, I'll make a fucking pie. And I was doing that this morning, and then the thing started at noon, and I went over there, and I've been doing so well with my diet. Last week, I told you I was almost 190. It was 189.8. I need to get down to $171.72 for my special on October 21st. So I stepped on the scale yesterday, and even though the weigh-in was for Tuesday, by Tuesday I wanted to be down to 186, but I was 185.6 by Sunday. So the first week you always do a big drop. You can drop like 3-4 pounds just because your body's so fucking shocked. Like, oh my God, salad, what the hell's this? You throw a little bit of cardio in it, you can drop. But now this week is the week my body goes like, oh, so we're doing this now. Oh, okay. And then it starts to slow down. So I really got to go hard. So I got down to 186, 185.6. Made it by 4 ounces, and so next week I got to be 183. That's it. I just keep going. 183, 180, 177, 174, 171, and then I should have like a week to go, and as long as I'm not a fucking moron, I won't look like fucking Billy Fat Tits on my special. In between specials, what are you going to do? But, that's one of the good things about doing a special. Every 2 years, man, I get in shape. So anyways, I went to this party today, and it was just like, they had everything laid out, right? And then in the other room, they had the salads. And if I saw those, I would have gone for them because I was in such a good headspace. I had my eggs with my fucking oatmeal. I had a grapefruit for fucking snack. My body was just like, we're good. We're not craving sugar, not craving salt. And I went in there. The salads were in the other room, and right out in the open, they had burgers, they had dogs, they had a nacho making machine, and old Freckles hit it. Oh, I hit every station. Went in there like Ric Flair. Woo! Just fucking ate them all. It's that voice in the back of your head silently. What are you doing? Stop. And I just couldn't stop. What do you want? Something to drink? We got waters, we got beer, what do you want? What do you want? And I'm thinking, drink a water. My mouth just goes, I'll try a beer. So I had a beer. Then I had a root beer. Then I had a little this banana cream pie. Then, of course, I had to cut into my pie because nobody was fucking eating it. That happens a lot, by the way. There's that thing when you become an adult and you've completely lost all sense of who the fuck you are. You're in a relationship. You're just fucking busy 24/7. You got bills. Your kitchen's fucked up. You know what I mean? You don't even know what you're doing anymore. You're putting on weight. The one thing that you have as a fucking adult is that you go to a party, you make some food, and you just sit there hoping somebody's going to eat it, say it's good, and validate your fucking existence. Nobody dug into the pie. And then there's tricks. There's tricks. What you do is when nobody's looking, you dig into your own shit, right? You try to position it to a place where other people can see it. And you dig into your own pie or your own fucking souffle, whatever the fuck you made, right? Hoping that, it's like when you're at an auction, and you're selling a car and nobody's bidding on it. There are people that will actually bid on their own car trying to get people going. You're priming the pump. You're playing a little fucking, you're gambling. Oh, I'm laying down. That's how much I ate today. Laying down on the fucking floor like a goddamn freckled dog. So then people finally dug into it. Crust was great as always, but I don't know if the blueberries weren't fucking ripe or if I didn't use enough sugar. This one called for like lemon zest. I felt like there should have been lemon juice in there. It was just way too fucking tart though. So I guess the lemon juice wouldn't have helped. It needed something else though. I got to tell you, it needs something else. But you should have seen the pie crust though. The old upstairs, downstairs, Anybody can, the downstairs one is hard enough. When we try to make that top pie crust to meet the other one, that is a shit show. That is a fucking shit show waiting to happen. The first few times I made it, it would always like split at the top, and then You want it to be totally smooth, right? Because if you fuck up the bottom one, no one sees it because you got the filling. But if you fuck up the top one, that's when people know if you're an expert or you're intermediate or you suck. And this one actually came out great. And then, of course, the filling wasn't that good. But if you had a little scoop of ice cream with it, it was fine. So embarrassing. I had to go fucking eat my own pie. No, actually, I mentioned it to the host. He was like, which one did you make? You made the blueberry? And then he sat down. He just fucking had it just because I was bringing it up. He knew it. I was like the fucking, I was like the chick without the date on prom night. He felt bad. That's what it was. It was a sympathy fucking pie slice of pie. Oh, this is too fucking weird now. I'm talking about pie and ladies. What do you want from me? I'm fucking full. Dakota Access Pipeline, whatever the fuck this means. You definitely have piqued my interest here. Hey, hi, Bill. I've been listening to your podcast for 1.5 years. You're a very funny comedian. I was hoping to get your thoughts on the Dakota Access Pipeline. Now, for some reason, I feel like this is some sort of jokey thing, and they just wanted to hear me say it out loud. But I'll look it up. Dakota Access Pipeline. Let's see what the fuck this is. Dakota Access Pipeline protests in North Dakota turned violent. All right. When do protests not turn violent? It's always these protesters, and then the cops show up, and like, everybody take it easy, and then somebody goes, you fucking take it easy, man, and then somebody throws a punch, and then it's a brawl. All right, protests against the Dakota Access Pipeline in North Dakota turned violent on Saturday. Demonstrators supporting the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe faced off with private security officers from the Dallas-based Energy Transfer Partners. Wait, it's on Native American land, and the big corporation has their own security officers? Is Julia Roberts already optioned this for an Oscar-winning role? She goes in and somehow figures out how to defeat the Dallas-based Energy Transfer Partners. Video from the scene showed security officers threatening protesters with dogs. As All Things Considered reported, hundreds of Native Americans from tribes across the country have set up a camp near the construction site in North Dakota. The Army Corps of Engineers approved the oil pipeline in July, allowing it to run under the Missouri River, close to the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe Reservation. And you know what's going to happen. Eventually, that pipeline's going to burst, as they always do. Protesters worry that the $3.8 billion pipeline, which is slated to run through 4 states, could disturb sacred sites and affect the reservation's drinking water. Abso-fucking-lutely. If human beings are involved, there's always the chance that can happen. The show Democracy Now! Was at the site of the protest Saturday and documented some tense moments. Dogs appeared to bite protesters, and security guards appeared to use pepper spray. Warning, the video below includes some fleeting explicatives. I think I can handle this. Let's.
Criminals! You guys are criminals!
Okay.
Go get your money somewhere else! We're standing at the construction site of the Dakota Access Pipeline. It looks like there are at least...
Yeah, these people are not going to win. It's a bunch of people saying no, wearing like hipster hats, while people drive bulldozers. It's already happening. Oh, yeah. It looks disorganized. There's a bunch of different signs.
My name's Jacob Johns.
And where are you from?
I'm from Spokane, Washington. I'm hoping I don't come out.
And can you describe what you see?
This is so nuts. Like, to come down and yell at people on bulldozers, like, I guess because you want to get the attention of the media, but they're on bulldozers on the other side of a wire. So, like, what are you going to do? Once protesters arrived at the construction area, they broke down a wire fence by stepping and jumping on it. Then, of course, immediately they're trespassing. According to numerous witnesses, within 5 minutes, the crowd of protesters, estimated to be a few hundred people, became violent. They stampeded into the construction area with horses, dogs, and vehicles. Okay, and it was said more... The sheriff said it was more like a riot than a protest, but the cops always say that. You know, and then the protesters always say the cops throw the first punch. You never know who to believe. This is like, let's watch this. This is like protester WWE, all right? This guy's got a cell phone. He looks to be Native American, or maybe he's appropriating their culture, having his hair long. I don't know what's going on. There's a fucking helicopter. Let's get to the dogs. Water is life. Somebody held that, and it was written, there was a feather in the background. All right, now here's a woman. Uh-oh, this isn't going to end well.
People have gone through the fence.
They're going through the fence.
The bulldozers are still going. And
Oh, shit. Oh, somebody got... Nice tackle! Nice tackle! Oh, now they got some dogs.
Dirt mounds. Some of the security.
I think they're going Tiananmen Square here. They're just trying to get in front of them. Yeah, this sounds crazy. This sounds like the usual big business thing that I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I do feel like eventually they're going to do enough of that fracking, and then they'll fuck up all the water, all the drinking water. And I don't think corporations care. I just think that'll be, well, then that's great. Then there'll be no fresh water for anybody to use, so they'll have to all go to Nestle for their fresh water, And then we'll say that it's distilled, but it really isn't. It sort of is. And when they get sick, the class action suit versus the money we're going to make, yeah, we're not going to give a fuck. We'll pay them off. That'll be it. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any faith in anything, to be honest with you. I think we're just going to completely destroy the planet and each other. But in the meantime, if I can make you laugh a little bit. You remember at the end of George Carlin's life when people were saying he got too fucking angry? I didn't think that. I was just like, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense to me. It was still funny to me. Still made sense. I thought, I don't know. However, he read the tea leaves. It made sense to me. I don't know, just about the whole way we go about fucking communicating with each other. We just end up screaming and yelling. And then we get physical, and somebody hits somebody, and then all hell breaks loose. That's what happens. It happens, I do it. I started discussing this election with some people the other day, and within 3 minutes of me talking, 3/4 of the people walked out of the room. I mean, that's how insufferable I am. Is that the right word? Women's suffrage, whatever the fuck it is. What do I think about it? I was hoping to get your thoughts on the Dakota Access Pipeline. I don't know, dude. There's just too many fucking people because everyone, I love a Tesla, I love a Prius and all that shit, but if you get all these cars, then all of a sudden everybody has to plug in their car. Then that's more energy. I know when you make electricity that, you need machines and the machines need the oil. So we consume is what we do, and there's too many of us. That's the fucking problem. All these technological advancements that we make are tremendous. It's just the amount of people that have to live off of them. That's where it's like getting fat. You know what I mean? All fat is you're taking in more calories than you're burning, and that's kind of like what we're doing. Except we're taking more than we're giving back, and eventually it's got to run out. So I think there's going to be a drastic decision at some point. It's going to have to be made about the population. It's just inevitable. There's, when there's fucking 6 million people left. Why did I pick that number? I shouldn't have said that number. Let me take a more empathetic number, because that's what I was thinking of. I was literally thinking Hitler. I mean, someone's going to end up doing that. If we could somehow all sit down and talk this out, and this, but what you would literally have to do. You'd literally have to try to get everybody in the world on the same page, and to see it the same way. If you're at fucking you order a UFC event, you get 10 people in the room. I mean, how many can people agree on the one place to order from? If you put it up to a vote. You're going to get the whole world to get on page. Somebody's just going to have to do the old right there, Fred. I don't know, dude. They should do it first voluntarily. Like they should be, all right, this is the deal. We're going to have to take out We got to get this number down below 1 billion, and there's 7.5 billion of us. So we're going to get to this number no matter what. It's like when a fucking flight is oversold and they try to get some volunteers, you know. I wonder if the tree huggers, you know, I'm a lazy tree hugger. I love nature, but, you know, I'm not going to go make a sign or chain myself to a sapling, you know. So, you know, I talk a good game, but I don't do any of the shit, right? So what I'm wondering is if they're going, look, we're going to get the population down below to 1 billion, one way or the other. We're asking for some volunteers. If you're willing to walk into the wood chipper or whatever the fuck you have to do, you know, we'll give a voucher to the surviving members of your family or whatever. I mean, but even then, you have to, if you're gonna cut it by that much, because I literally think that's what we're gonna run into, and then there's gonna be this big like I think at that Bilderberg shit, like this is what they have to talk about, going, okay, we have to keep the best of the best of each race, each gender. You hope that they're going to do that, right? And yeah, and then everybody else has to go, and then they got to be, well, wait, we don't want to mow our own lawns, right? We got to keep some meatheads around to pick shit up. We don't want to have to, like, if we kill too many people, then all of a sudden we have to build our own log cabins. We don't want that. So it's going to be really like, you know, they're almost going to have their own fucking city that we don't know about, right? And everybody goes, like, almost like Superman's hideout, and everybody goes up there, right? And it's enough people to keep humanity going. But at this point, you'd need enough people to, you ever see that fucking thing? Like, what would happen if all the people went away? And after, like, I don't know how many days, like the nuclear reactors, they all had like the meltdowns, you know? Because whatever was going on wasn't keeping those fucking things that Homer Simpson always takes home with them. They don't keep it cool. Jesus, I'm way in over my head now, huh? I don't know how many fucking people you'd have to keep alive, but I just don't see it. So as far as the Dakota Access Pipeline, that's just one of those things where I watch it and I feel bad for the people that live there, and I don't know enough about the other end of it. I know they're trying to make money, but they also are trying to keep 300 million people living at a certain standard of living, right? Aren't they? Here in this country? I have no fucking idea. All right, Jesus Christ. That literally gave me a headache. Stop paying bills. Hey, Bill, thanks for the laughs. You're welcome. Thank you for listening. In search of the solution to the fucking bankers... in search of the solution for the fucking bankers, I had a crazy thought. What if the 99% just simply stop paying all of our bills to major corporations? Mortgage, credit cards, line of credit. I'm not exactly convinced it's a solution, but you can imagine the chaos even if half of the population did that. Just thought it would be interesting to get your thoughts on this. Now I must get back to cleaning this grocery store. Fuck you and everything you do. I had to bring that back. All right. Did people used to say that? I like that. Fuck you and everything you do. Well, here's the thing. All right. If everybody just didn't pay their bills, then like the whole thing would stop, and they would put a lock on all the banks. I mean, all that money that they loaned out that's your money, that's my money, that's regular people's fucking money. Right? It's not rich people's money. They're not loaning unless they put it in a bank, I guess. Yeah, like that would not work. That wouldn't work, and then they would just be like, all right, well, then you guys have no more money. And you know them, they fucking the 1%, I mean, they got like fucking wine cellars and shit, and they got like, you know, they eat like woolly mammoth steaks, you know. They got fucking food for days, for months. They can totally wait us out. The only way to fix all of this was human beings would have to have been wired differently, and we're not. At the end of the day, you know, a lot of the shit that the upper 1% is doing, I think all of us would also be doing if we had that opportunity. It's just sort of natural. You know what I mean? I don't know. people don't handle power well, myself included. It's an interesting thought. I have no fucking idea. I just wish that they would just, I pay my bills. Why can't this country pay the bills? Why can't you just keep, why do we always got to be in this level of fucking debt? They just keep going and going and going and going and going, and they act like someday like the shit's not going to hit the fan. Jesus, guys, can you tell by these answers that these questions you're asking me, they're just way beyond my ability? Maybe this is why you do it. All right, emotionally cheating. Hi, Bill. A big fan of your stand-up in the MM podcast. I wanted to get your advice on a relationship question. I got married to my wife last year in September, who I've known for 10 years prior to tying the knot. At the start of this year, my wife, age 30, admitted to me that she has been emotionally cheating. Jesus, she told you? Why didn't she tell you? As far as I know, no physical cheating on me, which started a couple months prior to us getting married with her 51-year-old coworker, who's a divorcee with 2 kids. What? I was completely blind. He said sighted. It's blind-sided, not sighted. Blind-sided and in shock when she told me this. About a month ago, she told me she needs to go find herself. Oh, yeah, okay. And has recently moved out into her own apartment, and we are currently separated, most likely headed towards a divorce. That's why she told you. Thankfully, we do not have any kids together. My dad keeps telling me to try and woo her back and work out our marital issues. Even if I could do that, I'm not sure I want someone who has betrayed marital trust and scarred me in such a way. What do you think? Looking forward to season 2 of his Efforts for Family. Keep up the good work and go fuck yourself. I think you're in a great position. You should stay there, dude. Fuck this, okay? You've known her for 10 years. She's 30. So you met her real young. She didn't get to go out and go do everything that she wants to do. And, yeah, dude, I would walk away. If you guys are roughly the same age, dude, you still got a lot of time. And I would, she did you a huge favor. Just look at it that way, dude, okay? Football season's here. Get the NFL package, Start hitting the gym. Just get on with your life, man. That's what I would honestly do. And just, get yourself in a great positive headspace, dude. You don't have any kids. She was upfront and honest. She's 30. She's fucking got her tongue hanging out about some 51-year-old. I don't know. That's fucking weird to me, but I'm also a guy. Let her go, man. When you let a fish run on the line, maybe tire it out, I would literally throw the whole rod in the water. Just let that one get away. Cut the line. Fuck that. Like I said, man. Fuck that, dude. Go travel. Go to Europe. Go do something. I don't know. Go. Yeah, you don't need that shit in your life. Thank God. I actually felt relieved as I was reading that when I got to the end that you guys are going to get divorced. You don't have any kids. That's fucking great, dude. You're in a great position. Don't listen to your dad. He's probably old school. It's a hell of a thing for me to say. I don't know your dad, but I just, old people they're always into that. Work it out, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Yeah. Football season. Get yourself a kegerator. Just don't get fat, like me. All right, lady fan, heckler question. Hey there, Bill. I'm a lady fan, and I would like your opinion on a situation Amy Schumer encountered on her tour in Stockholm. Early on in her set, a male heckler shouted, "Show us your tits." Oh, that's hilarious. She heard it, had the audience point to the guy, and shut him down pretty quickly with a few jokes. All right, good for her. She also said if he yelled out again, she'd have him kicked out. Well, literally 5 seconds later, he yelled out again. Yeah, this guy's a class clown, Next person who does that gets detention. And she did have him thrown out of the show. Well, it's her show. She can do what she wants. My question is, at what point would you have a heckler thrown out? Or when have you had a heckler thrown out? This is a great question. I have no problem with her controlling the vibe at her own show. especially when there were a ton of other audience members for whom the show might have been ruined if the guy kept shouting. Yeah, they came there to hear her act. You know what I mean? He got one show me your tits. She fucking rode with that and said, hey, you know, it's not like it doesn't sound like, you know, unless she was talking about her tits, which it doesn't sound like she was. It doesn't sound like it had any context to what she was talking about. If someone just yells that out, then if someone's just going to just keep yelling, fuck you, blah, 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 or something like that, then, you know, as a comic, you can just stand there and just trash the guy for the whole hour and still get paid. But, like, the rest of the crowd is not going to walk away happy. That has been my experience when you do something like that. So anyways, she continues. She says, I have no problem with her controlling the vibe at her own show, especially when there were a ton of other audience members for whom the show might have been ruined if this guy kept shouting. However, I've also seen you handle hecklers in your specials and shows without having them ejected. This case might be different since his heckle was sexual in nature. And as far as I know, no heckler has ever shouted, show us your dick to you on stage. Oh my God, that would fucking kill me if somebody yelled that. Anywho, just curious as what you thought about it. The video of the situation at this link if you want to see it. Can't wait for season 2 of F is for Family, and best of luck with your upcoming special. Thank you very much. Once you're, I don't know, I think once you're at a level where you're selling tickets and it's your crowd and everything, I think you just run your show how you want to have your show run. I know that there's comics out there that say no heckling. There's other people that don't give a shit about heckling. I'm one of those people. I don't mind 90% of heckling. You know, it's that 10% where you just didn't want to be there, or you're just completely fucking like wasted, drunk. And you're just there. You're gonna, even if I get the better of you, you're still just not gonna shut up, and you're just there to ruin everyone's good time. At that point, I would say, like, listen, and I would, you know, give the person the money back. It's like, I'm not trying to be a dick, you know, maybe next time, or go see another comic. But I've only had to do that a handful of times. When I first did the Opie and Anthony show, there was this guy, I remember, came down, and he just didn't get it. Like, he came down on the first show and was just screaming and yelling the whole fuck. It was crazy. And then he showed up like 2 nights later again. And he sat right down front, and one of the waitresses overheard him. I'm going to yell out the punchlines to all of his jokes. So what I should have done was immediately say, get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. Give him his money back. I'll take a picture with him. Just get him out of here, because I don't want to deal with this guy. This guy's wasted, and it's going to ruin the show for everybody. I mean, he was here 2 nights ago. I can't come up with 60 new minutes in fucking 2 nights. And he was deliberately going there to mess up the fucking show. But the weird thing was he didn't go there in a malicious way. He thought it was funny, and it was one of those things that was really in the spirit of the Opie and Anthony show, but this wasn't the Opie and Anthony show. This was a stand-up comedy show. So it was an awkward thing, and I had to get him out of there, or else he was going to fuck it up for everybody, and he was fucking beside himself. I remember going, you don't understand. I love you, though. You don't understand, right? So they ended up kicking him out. Classic way, like the way a comedy club kicks somebody out, is they get him just beyond the threshold of the door and immediately turn a blind eye to the person. Like, well, that takes care of that, right? And they inevitably come back in, which this guy did. And I was selling CDs. This is how long ago it was. I was selling CDs after the show, and I look up, and there's this fucking guy again pleading his case with me. And then he got so mad. He goes, I'm never coming one of your shows again. And I was like, good. The amount of stress and anxiety he brought to me, blah, blah. And then, like, at the end of the night, someone had broken the window out front of the club. And I always thought it was him. I have no idea. So my thoughts on heckling is basically it's a part of the art form. And I also think it's a part of the art form that makes it really cool. But that's also, I don't define the rules of it. It's just one of the things that I enjoyed, that always scared me in the beginning, that I always thought was so cool about comics, that people would yell at them and they could just handle them and then continue on with their act. And the way I look at it, I say a lot of ignorant shit when I'm on stage and, provoke people and stuff. Like, I can't expect them to sit on their hands the whole time. And I like it. I actually enjoy when people yell shit at me, to a point, But if it's on topic, somebody yells shit out, I always go, what'd you say? I go back and forth, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a part of being a comedian. But I think after a while, and once, you said it was in Stockholm, Sweden. I mean, that's an important show. You're going over there. You're not like the other ones aren't, but you're in another country. You want to make sure you're having a good show. And right out of the gate, if someone they're coming at you like that, they're testing you. And I know a lot of it's going to be made like, it's a sex thing, and, that's not a heckle. It's a this, that. No, it's the basic thing where it's like you're being tested by the crowd. So what the comic has to do is throw the fucking hammer down, or else the crowd takes control of the show, and you're going to have a long fucking evening. So there's a million different ways to do it. That's how she chose to do it. It's her fucking show, so there you go. That's what I think. I think however the comedian decides to handle it is the way to handle it. I don't know, but I was just making all the crazy, some of the shit that people have said to me over the years. Best one ever was when I was at Dangerfields. And somebody yelled out, anything red and on stage said faggot. So they used like homophobia for whatever fucking reason. And I'll never forget that heckle because it was so like anything red and on stage. It was like worded like I was in second grade. But this guy was like, I don't like the anger that was coming off of this guy and the group of people that he was in with. I knew if I engaged, and there was no security at that club, and I could not beat up him, much less him and two of his fucking friends. And I just, I liked the mic stand where it was rather than wrapped around my Charlie Brown head. So I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I've had, oh, Jesus Christ. All the memories coming back. I've had shit thrown at me. Somebody threw dental floss at me one time. I remember I was talking about working in a dental office when I was younger, and somebody in the middle just threw dental floss like that would add to the bit somehow. I had pissed off a woman in Tampa one time, and she threw a glass of ice at me. Somebody threw a dinner roll at me. Had a lot of shit thrown at me. And then just every fucking thing. I remember being on stage one time at the Boston Comedy Club, and there was these two black women sitting in the front, and there was barely anybody, and it was late night, and I was bombing, and there was this two black women in the front, and one of them had put her head on the other girl's shoulder and was pretending to sleep. And it bothered me for about 6 years because I had a glass of water on stage with a straw. It bugged me for 6 years that I didn't think in that moment. When you put your finger over the top of the straw and you keep the water in it to come over and then let it go right on her face. That's what kills you as a comic. It's the thing you should have said or the thing you could have done afterwards. But I really think that to me, that is one of, like when I used to listen to the Richard Pryor albums and stuff when I was growing up, like one of the coolest things ever was, listening to him going back and forth, and his unbelievable special that he did down in Long Beach where they had him go on early. He just wanted to get out there and people hadn't gotten back to their seats. Like I really felt like that interaction there, it was like it just put him in this zone, and he just stayed in there for like an hour and 18 minutes. And I think with that type of shit, and the guy going up with the camera and stuff, like no security, I really feel like that, that interaction with the crowd, that energy that they were giving him, I think that's why that specialist, what it is. So I'm not against heckling or anything like that, but every comic, like I said, if they feel like it's crossing the line, you just feeling it's at that tipping point, and I got to chop the head off somebody. Sometimes you got to do that. So good for her. All right, the unicorn. I'd love your feedback / advice on this. I recently met a very sweet, smart, and attractive lady. We've been texting back and forth for a few days, getting to know each other, and eventually got to the how many people have you slept with question. Okay, I was upfront and honest and told her my number. And when it was her turn, she told me she was a virgin. That's right, she's a unicorn. I've never heard that expression. But it doesn't stop there. She went on to tell me she's never had a boyfriend. Keep in mind, she's 21. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm old school and love that she's a virgin, especially in this world full of hooas. But it's still weird. There's no pleasing you. You just called every other woman out there, basically, who gives sex whores, and then she's weird. All right, we went on the first date a few days later, and she lived up to my expectations. She was hot, smart, funny, and I had a great time. My question is, how is it possible that this smoking hot and seemingly perfect girl is a virgin, let alone has never had a boyfriend? I'm not complaining, but I'm wondering if she's lying or if there's something that I don't see. Well, I mean, I think you're going to physically, I think you're going to, unless she played softball and the ball took a weird hop, right? Wait, whose story was that? Oh, my God, that just popped out of my head. That was a comic from way back when. I don't even think she does it anymore. Used to tell a story on stage about how she was playing some sport and she got hit and broke her hymen. I don't know what to tell you, dude. He said, what's he saying here? I don't want to get into something with her and then find out she's a crazy or worse. Thank you for the feedback, and as always, go fuck yourself. So, dude, what? Just keep dating her and just see how it goes. If she's fucking nuts, walk away. If she is great, 21, that's a little older, but it's not like 31. 26, 27, that's when you're starting to go but someone could just be really fucking walled off, really could have had overbearing parents or whatever. I don't know. She kind of really let you in and told something really intimate about herself. You're just in a spot where you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So if I was you, I'd be asking myself, why am I asking that? Who did I date before this that's making me think that this is going to be an absolute shit show? Now, look, I would be lying to you if I said that, if some woman was smoking hot or something like that and came up to me, I would think at some point someone would have talked her in to the rack by 21 nowadays. But 21 isn't that old. I say you write it out. It's a good enough situation. See what happens. And if you're worried that she's a psycho, just don't get too fucking, crazy and with the chick. And then, after a while, I don't know, maybe you could actually have a conversation with her at some point. Don't be so blunt like, how some fucking chick as hot as you never had a dick in her. Don't say it like that. Just be like, I don't know. You know what? Don't listen to me. Don't fucking bring that up. But I would continue to see her. If you're having a good time, I would continue to see her. And, if you're really concerned, I would just hide the knives in your kitchen the first time she stays over. Just make sure the bat's on your side of the bed if you really think there's going to be a problem. But that's if she even gets in the bed, so we'll see. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon just before Friday Monday morning podcast, and I'm checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you. I got to save my voice today because I'm going to go do some F for Family stuff. Remember that show? Came out in December. We're still working on season 2, so I bring it up every once in a while, so you don't forget about us. I'm going to go, You write them, then you record them, and then you look at them with the sort of roughed out animatics, as they're called, and then you're like, well, that didn't work. I don't think that's going to be funny. And then you got to punch shit up, and it's weird. Stuff on the page and shit that's on the table read. All of a sudden, when you draw it, you line it up with the characters. Sometimes, things that you thought were going to work don't, and then other things that you didn't think much of do work. So we're doing all that shit. So anyways, old Freckles was recording yesterday, and took my old truck out, the old 68 F100. 3 on the tree, having a great fucking time. It's got AC, and I still don't use it. I haven't used it in so long, I actually don't remember how to put it in. How to turn it on. because when they put it in, they showed it to me, and like it doesn't line up to what it says. Like literally, you move it over to like heat, and cold air comes out or some shit like that. It's kind of part of the fun of owning the thing, and I gradually figured it out. But you know, as long as you're not sitting in traffic and you're driving along, you get the little triangle windows open, you blow air in, and it's cool. So, anyways, I went to leave the record, and LA is just a relentless place when it comes to traffic. It has like this sixth sense, like it knows what you're trying to do, and they do everything they can to prevent you from taking any time off of your trip. They put up concrete barriers. They have right turns only, not a through street. They're just like, fuck you. There's one way to go home. Everybody get on it. And they just funnel you down this thing, and they go, just sit in it and listen to your books on tape until you get to your house. That's basically how it works. So every once in a while, you try to make a move. I got to be honest with you. When I see other people making a move and they pull it off, I always think, hey, good for him. Good for her. Nice move. Nice move. So I'm sitting there going, I go out. I want to go left. I want to jump on the 10, right? You can't go left. You can only go right. So I go right, and I'm like, fuck me. And I'm watching all these cars passing me going the direction I want to go. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to be behind all these motherfuckers. Do the right thing, Bill. Go up to the light to make a left, to then make another left, and then another left, and then a right to fucking, whatever, do it properly. And I'm sitting there waiting to make this left, and all of a sudden, the oncoming traffic just trickles to a stop, and there's a little entranceway into a strip mall. So I'm like, why not just bang a Yui right here? Look around. I don't see any car. Well, one cruiser had just gone by, but he was all the way up the way, So I think he's got his eyes front. So I say, fuck it. And I bang a little U-turn, and I'm riding along. I'm like, that was great. Running through the gears, wind's coming in, driving an old pickup truck, America, right? I'm having a great time. And all of a sudden, I look behind me, go, look at that fucking motorcycle, man. I'm a motorcycle guy. I like it. Let's check it out, see what's going on with that fucking motorcycle. And then I go, that's a cop. That's a cop. And I was like, well, he's not doing anything, so he didn't see me. And then I just started thinking how funny it is, or weird, or whatever you want to call it, that they ride on BMWs now instead of Harley Davidsons. You want to talk about not patriotic. You want to talk about people standing or sitting down during an anthem. Our own fucking police officers are on BMWs. It's a great bike, though, from what I heard. Anyways, so he's just behind me or whatever, and then, like, we're inching along traffic. He's behind me for, like, 5 minutes. Now we make a left to get on the 10, the highway, and then all of a sudden he turns on his lights. Whee! And I'm sitting there going, I wonder who he's after. He's sort of zigzagging. He's on a motorcycle, so it's hard to fucking tell who he's after. So I finally I point at myself, like me, and he nods. So I'm like, fuck, is there something going on with my registration? Because at this point, the U-turn was like 6-7 minutes ago, so I don't remember it, right? So I fucking pull over, right? And the guy gets off his bike, and right out of the gate, his fucking head does not fit the helmet. His face is all mushed in. He looks like fucking Eli Manning. So I let out a chuckle before he gets up there, and I'm like, Bill, get your fucking game face on. If you're going to get out of this, you can't be fucking laughing at the guy, right? So he comes up with his face all fucking mushed in the thing, and he goes, he goes, you made an illegal U-turn back there, right? I'm thinking, how the fuck did this guy see it? Oh, by the way, the cruiser that went by me, he made a left, and just fucking pulled in a store and did a big U-turn in the store. The exact fucking thing that I did. So I'm sitting there going, this motherfucker, I know what happened. He didn't even, I built this whole conspiracy in my head. I'm like, this fucking mushed up face son of a bitch. He didn't even see what I did. The fucking asshole in the cruiser told him what I did, and then he pulled me over. And then I'm thinking, when I cooled off, it was like, no, he was probably hiding, right, in a place I couldn't see, because people probably do this all the time there. It's a little fucking trap. They make a ton of fucking money, and you're the dope who got caught today, and all he did was wait till you got to a place where he was going to pull you over. Meanwhile, he ran your plate and made sure you didn't have any felonies, so he knew what he was walking up to. That's probably what the fuck happened. So he fucking pulls up, license and registration, and then I give him my fucking insurance, and I had the wrong insurance card in there. It's going downhill quick. So he ended up being cool. He came up and he was just like, look, I'm not going to write you for the insurance, but I just signed this. It's an admission of guilt. Even though I knew I was guilty, it was fucking annoying. So, I signed the thing. And he goes, we trying to get on the tent? I'm like, yeah. He goes, just go up here, make a right, make another right, go around. And I appreciated that he did. So he wasn't a bad guy. All right. But, that fucking annoying. It's that's when you start you start being that white guy. I'm a taxpayer, Get all indignant. It's like, fuckhead. You broke the law. You knew you broke the law. You knew you were breaking it when you were doing it. You were looking around for him. Aren't you really just mad? Aren't you really just mad that you didn't see the guy? Isn't that what it is? No, the younger me wouldn't have been able to get to that place. So, that's it. And then I just fucking drove home. So there's my little ticket story. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 29th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? I'm back. I'm back on the time. No more jet lag and all that. I apologize for the... I sounded like I was coked up on my last fucking podcast. I was listening to it. I was cracking up. I was like, I literally sound like I'm wired out of my fucking mind. But if I didn't do that, I was going to fall asleep. So sorry. Got a little loud. I got a little fast. I got a little hyper. But I think last night I finally beat it. I was starting to fall asleep again at 7. I kept falling asleep at 7. Then I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. And that's not a good time to wake up, as a person, by yourself, waking up at 2:30 in the morning. You have nothing to do but your mind to just sit there fucking with you, What are you doing, Bill? You're getting older. Are you doing everything you're supposed to be doing? And you're walking around, shut the fuck up, Isn't it amazing how loud your feet are when everybody else in the house is sleeping? It's so at 2:30 in the morning, you can literally I'll be at my desk and I'll take a pen out of a glass cup and I swear to God, my wife will stir downstairs. What was that? What was that? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I put a sock on. Well, can you keep it down? I'm sleeping. Everything is so fucking loud at that hour. And yeah. So I've just been, last night I started to fall asleep again at around 7:38. So I just drove down to the Improv. Didn't even do a spot because I felt like my head was in a cloud. And I just fucking, I just walked around talking to people. And, it was great. I went down. I got a fucking salad, one of those comedy club salads, except this was a good one. So I'm back right now because I got to drop like fucking 10 pounds before I do my next special, which is going to be recorded in Nashville at the Ryman Theater on October 21st. Very excited about that. And, I got to drop like 10, 12 pounds so I don't look like a fucking Billy Fathead on this thing. So last week was the, all right, I'll start doing some cardio, blah, 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 blah. I'll still eat like a fucking jackass. And then, but I'll make attempts to not totally eat like a fucking jackass. And now this week is when now it's like, all right, I'm going to the grocery store. And I'm going back to my fucking, I need to lose weight diet. Just like a third of a cup of oatmeal and a fucking egg over easy. No fucking toast. None of that bullshit. Then what do I have? I have like a fucking apple between then and lunch. And then for lunch, I have like fucking turkey slices and some other bullshit. And then around 4 o'clock, I don't know what the fuck. I have a protein, like a turkey patty with a little bit of fucking salad. And then for dinner, a couple hours later, there's another fucking protein. And sometimes I'll just go like a fucking salad. It sucks. It's not fun. My wife asked me to make a strawberry fucking shortcake, so I'm going to do that, So I'll have that. I always got to have a little bit of crack on the back burner. But anyway, so I'm back into that. Just going to do fucking cardio, 45 minutes a fucking day over there. And hopefully this shit will start to come off because I was disgusted with myself when I got back from vacation. Holy shit. Dude, I was doing that shit, putting on my socks, making those noises. I have a bone to pick with my wife. I subscribe to Rolling Stone magazine, okay? And this sounds like I'm just telling a story while actually making money off those cunts. I'm not. So, fucking the magazine comes today, and it's that fucking guy who does the talk show, who fucking drives around with Adele and he sings songs and shit. You know what I mean? It's very like musical theater, like a slumber party can break out at any second. Okay, so he's on the cover. Essentially, looks like he's not wearing any clothes. He's laying stomach down, holding like a little sock teddy bear. You know what I mean? You know, that today's male. How we went from Lee Marvin to that, I don't know what the fuck happened, right? So there's that dude, and I'm fucking cracking up going like, how hard is this guy working his female audience? Jesus Christ. It should have just been like a bubble over his head going, oh my God, you guys, right? He's fucking eating some pudding. So anyways, I'm just sitting there laughing, and Nia's cracking up too. Yeah, I don't give a shit if that's how he wants to live his life. God bless him. You know what I mean? But it's fucking hilarious. Maybe that was the purpose. Okay, but anyways, so somehow we talk about it, and she said, well, last week, Jared Leto was shirtless on the cover. And I'm going, really? Really? I don't remember seeing that fucking issue. She fucking swiped it. I'm really talking shit here. I'm going to have to bring her in for this. Because I was like, well, what'd you do with it? She goes, well, I just read the article. I was like, I bet you did. You fucking animal. So there you go. So my wife is, I think, mentally cheating on me with fucking Jared Leto. And you know what? Can you get mad, though? I mean, that would be really hypocritical of me because, if I see a girl with a fat ass and some titties coming down the street, I'm going to literally almost break my neck turning around to look at her right in front of Nia. And I always say, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to sit here and be like all these other guys and fucking, out of the corner of my eye, like literally like strain my fucking whatever, the ACL of your eye, whatever the fuck that's called, your little eye tendon, looking at, I've been telling for years. If you see a good-looking guy, just look at him. I know what I look like. I know where I am in the scale of 1 to 10. I'm in the middle of the pack, right? Lance is up front. I'm fucking in the back, with all those other fucking people, in the pendulum, whatever the fuck they call it. I don't understand those people. They really got to be sitting in the middle of the pack going, why are we doing this to ourselves again? Why are our legs like 15 sizes the size of our arms? People who ride on bicycles for a living, it's fucking unbelievable. Like their legs look like Wile E. Coyote when he took that Acme shit. He drank those pills. It's one of my favorite ones where he runs really fast and it's just the flames going down the fucking road. That was the shit, but like it did nothing for his upper body. That's what the guys in the Tour de France look like. Their arms look like little 7th grade arms. Like, everybody in my grade's taller than me, Mom. That's what their arms look like. But their legs, they look like Earl Campbell. I don't know. What am I talking about here? Anyways, yeah, I was saying, so it's like, I don't mind that you went and fucking, fucking curled up with your little Jared Leto modal fucking magazine cover. But, you don't got to sneak around. You can say, like, hey, Bill, this guy is way better looking than you, so I'm going to go downstairs privately and look at this. I get it. It's healthy. Every once in a while, right? Anyways, I have to give a shout-out to a DJ named Afrojack, who, I'm not going to lie to you, I never heard of the guy. I'm not in that fucking world, and everybody's sending me this thing where he took a clip of some shit. I guess I talked about DJs like a couple years ago. That's how it works on my podcast. I'll say something, and it takes like 2 years before anybody really hears it. Like that Kardashian thing or the Yoko Ono thing. Like I said, those I did the podcast, and it like 2 years goes by, and then somebody who actually has a podcast with influence, like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan blew up the Yoko Ono thing. So, anyways, people were sending me this shit, and he did like do you call it a song? Is it a track? Is it a something else? I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know what the fuck it is. But he somehow lined the shit up, and he put me in a song. And as much as I still don't get what the fuck is going on, I want to thank the guy because there's a bunch of young people in the crowd, and performers, you need that. You got to keep getting the next wave of young people. As your fans start to get older, they have kids and they can't even go out if they want to go out. You know what I mean? Like he probably just stopped me from going on cruise ships. He delayed that for another like 6 years. So thank you very much, Afrojack. I don't know if your name is Afrojack, like that's your first name, or your name's Jack and your nickname's Afrojack, like, Billy Red Tits. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate it. Thank you for, whatever the fuck, however you say it, however you kids say that shit. It's funny. I actually watched this thing one time with Nia recently, this documentary on DJ AM. Can I just say that again, and you guys, so I can make you cringe again? The fact that I, as old as I am, just said that name. On DJ AM, and I watched it, and I actually started to understand, like, I know there's an art to everything, but I actually was really starting to understand it. And Nia was talking about how one time she and a friend of hers were in New York and went to some fucking club, and that guy was DJing there, and she said it was like the sickest night ever of music. And, within 10 minutes of being in the club, everybody's like, who the fuck is the DJ? And then they figure out it's that guy, and I don't know what it is. I guess it's like what song leads into the next song, and you're changing the energy of the crowd, which I'm relating to stand-up, right? You don't open with your closing bit, but you got to open strong. Then you got to take them on a ride. You bring them up, and then they're gonna be burned out. You got 40 more minutes. What do? You take them down a little bit, and you start building it back up, down a little bit, and then you bring them fucking. It's like wrestling. It's like when I did Stone Cold's fucking podcast. And you talk about how you bring them up, down, a little more higher, a little bit lower, a little higher, and then you get them right in that last fucking moment, and then they fucking explode and go nuts. So, I don't know. Having said that, I like seeing live drummers. That was that problem I had when I went to go see fucking Lady Gaga. Like, I can go see anybody if I can see the band. She had a band in a fucking house. They're like in this fucking castle, and she's riding around on a goddamn horse. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, I believe was my quote. All right, concert story. Hey there, Billy Vanilla Tits. That's a good one. A month ago, I took my niece, the little lady, and a couple of friends to a concert they wanted to see. I get free tickets to lots of shows, yada, yada. So I took them. We get there, and immediately I'm standing out in an ocean of teens to get into this thing. Another group of friends show up, and they're accompanied by one of the other girls' dads. So we say hello and walk into this situation. It's pretty slow at first. The opening band didn't have me in mind when they made music, but they were okay. The second band came on, and they sounded real familiar. The dad says to me, I heard about these guys from Bill Burr. They're amazing. So I'm immediately like, fuck yeah, this guy knows about Burr. So after their set, we walk outside and decide, I would guess that was 21 Pilots, because I went to go see Mute Math, and they opened for 21 Pilots, and they had a very young crowd screaming like it was the fucking Beatles. So after their set, we walk outside and decide to have a couple of beers while the kids enjoy the main act that definitely didn't have us in mind when they made their music, and talked about, she talked about me and laughed our asses off in the lobby. What a turn. Not only did I get to stay with is this like a fluff piece? Why was this sent to me? I'm not saying that you sent the email. I'm just saying my fucking podcast guy. Not that I didn't want to stay with my niece, but I had an excuse to let her hang with the friends without me standing there. And if I didn't have this guy to talk to, I'd be the lone dude in the lobby, or even worse, on the floor watching the show. But it doesn't end there. All right, I'm guessing this is why the email was sent. Here we go. While I'm standing out there, a girl walks through and asks me what time it is because her phone died. I answered her, and a couple minutes later, we're talking about everything and anything. The other dad was a champ. He laughed at my joke and then peaced out when he saw things going well. What was going well? Not like some married dudes. What? This chick came. Wait a minute. What? Oh, I answered her, and a couple minutes later, we're, meaning you and the lady, were talking about everything and everything. The other dad was a champ. He laughed at my joke, then peaced out when he saw things going well. not enough guys like that. Right, Dad? He fucking made it look like this guy. He's holding in court. There's a guy right there. That guy, he gets out in the intersection when the light turns green. He makes sure 2 cars behind him gets through. That's what I'm saying about that guy. He said, yeah, he made sure he pieced out when he saw things were going well. Not like some married dudes who don't get out much and feel the need to flirt so they have something to jack it to later. Anyways, I've gone out with this girl a bunch of times then and got into a new band that I love, whose name I won't name because you don't like to name names. All because of old Billy Original Recipe tits. Thanks and go fuck yourself. Well, that's great. That's great. You know what? And that's a nice fucking story for all the cock blocks out there. You know what I mean? Those people who fucking cock block, I've never understood that. It's such like a, this is bad. Somehow I'm going to trash women in this. I'm the worst. I was going to say that's such like a female thing to do. You know? Chicks have that fucking thing where it's just like, well, if something good's not happening for me, then and everybody around me has to suffer. That's like the male version of that is the cock block. Well, if I'm not going to get laid, you're not getting laid. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? That's that fucking douche who throws the lady out of the way and jumps in the fucking lifeboat on the Titanic. That person, right? I don't know. How the fuck that's like male behavior, and I still ended up trashing women. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I mean, part of it is I have issues with women, obviously, but the other part is it's just so fucking fun to annoy them. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my problem. Is it wrong that you'd rather annoy them than fuck them? Is that weird? Or is it just sort of a different approach? Right, Kenya. Hi, Bill. I'm a Bostonian, like yourself. I'm a suburban outside of Boston, all right? Get it right, okay? I lived in a cul-de-sac and played street hockey, okay? I wasn't down in Southeast stealing cars, good at math, liking apples. It's a whole different breed of tough guy, all right? I had Legos, I had Lincoln Logs, I had a tree fort, okay? All right, I'm a Bostonian like yourself. That has a question for you. My wife is Kenyan, and we have a place near Nairobi National Park. The government is ramming a railroad straight through the middle of the park in clear violation of the environmental efforts put in place by past generations for the betterment of the Kenyan people. This park is considered a World Heritage Site, and this construction would be devastating. Would you be willing to champion this cause with your connections? What connections do I have to stop a railroad being built in Kenya? I mean, not going to lie to you. My last couple of specials were pretty damn good, but I don't know if I can stop. He goes, I hope just to bring attention to this cause as it is being implemented very rapidly before people can complain about it. I can assure you this is a very good cause and deserves the attention of anyone who values nature. Now, I'm off to fight in the traffic on the Jamaica way. All right, wait a minute. Well, if you send me a fucking link or something, I can definitely retweet it. But I think the best thing for your cause would not be me to be a spokesperson, as long as I don't have to speak about it. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to read. Even if I read up on it, I'm going to stutter. It's just going to, it's going to come across as a dope, right? But yeah, just tweet me a link today, and I will retweet it. And I don't know. I mean, they're not listening to their own people. They listen to a fucking comedian in L.A. Don't downplay yourself, Bill. Everything counts. Well, fuck it then. I'll go positive, okay? I'll join the goddamn cause. I'll say, don't build that railroad through that park. And then they'll say, well, what's your other solution? You got an alternative? And I'll say, no, I don't. This is really, really embarrassing. So I got on the scale. Like, I worked out like 2 days in a row, did 45 minutes of cardio both days to just knock a few pounds off before I had the balls to do my weigh-in. Jesus Christ. It's the biggest number I've ever put up. All right? I guess I stepped on the scale and I go, man, I'm feeling like a $183, $184. I was 189.8. And I just walked the dog around the block. So I was over a $190. I've never seen the 9. I've never seen the 9 in the second position since I've been in like the fucking 7th grade or 6th grade and I weighed 90 pounds. terrifying. And of course, I got a special coming up. So now I am back to eating as perfectly as I know how to and just totally working out. And what's cool is the first week, whenever you go to lose weight, for people out there, because I know everybody struggles with it, that first fucking week, if you go hard and you eat perfect, I mean, you can lose like 3 to 4 pounds easy if you're my build. If you're a big motherfucker, you could probably lose even more than that because it's like a percentage of your body weight. And it's basically because your body, I think, is so used to laying around eating a cheese plate, finishing off a bottle of wine like you're some fucking pirate that took over somebody's boat. That's the way I was living. I didn't tell you guys this. When we were in the Amalfi Coast, in the room, they had a bottle of Johnny Walker Black, and I started just sipping on that thing like every day, like earlier and earlier. And then I got like this weird fucking OCD / played a lot of sports growing up. So you get that competitive thing. Like this fucking bottle thinks it's going to defeat me. And I just started doing a third, and a third, just, just knocking it out. I fucking finished 2 bottles when I was over there in 10 days, man. It was fucking bad. It was bad, but was it a good time? I had a nice glow going from, as they say back east. Dude, I got a good glow going, right? From like, it started at like around 11 in the morning. I'm on vacation. Fuck off, right? And I would just keep this glow going until like lunchtime. And then I wouldn't eat for like an hour. I wouldn't drink for an hour or so. So you'd start coming down. I'd just slam a couple of waters so I wouldn't get like that mild hangover. And then we'd go see some shit. And then I'd come back. I'd have another couple, 2, 3. Then we'd go out to dinner. Old fucking Billy Red Velvet face, Red Velvet cake there. I'd go out and I'd have some pasta, right? And you know what? They kept saying like that was a secondary dish. So I'm like, well, I got to go 2 and then 1. So I would do that. And then I would also order a main course, which, by the way, I learned on Below the Deck, the way we call it an entree is stupid because that's actually the French word for enter, meaning basically an appetizer. So the English guy on there is like, stop calling it an entree, you fucking Americans, right? So the main course, I was ordering like a fucking, I don't know, a fucking risotto. I'd order, ravioli or some fucking spaghetti bolognese, and then I would have some fish after that, and I was fucking drinking a giant bottle of wine, I was going like, rest his soul, James Gandolfini, right? I was living the fucking high life, and then I'd come home, and then I'd have another couple, 2 or 3, right? I was going Keith Richards with the shit. And I was kind of forgetting how many calories that was. But every morning I'd get up and I'd fucking get on the elliptical for a good half hour. I'd throw the weights around. And I'd swim in the Mediterranean. I was thinking like, and you know what the deal, and I was thinking that I was actually keeping it at bay. Like I was doing all right. But you know the deal. You can do an hour of cardio. And if you eat 2 Oreo cookies, 3 Oreo cookies, you basically, and you can eat 3 Oreo cookies, You can eat them like the Cookie Monster. You can eat them in like 8 seconds. Or you can be a gentleman and basically eat 3 Oreo cookies in 90 seconds. Just watching TV, not thinking, eat one, just sit there. If you eat 3 Oreo cookies while not paying attention to the sleeve of cookies that's next to you and it takes you 90 seconds to eat it, you are a gentleman. You are a lady. You were raised right, okay? But even then, in that 90 seconds, you can negate everything that you did for fucking an hour. It sucks. So I wasn't really thinking like that. So I came back and I was 189.8. So I've been fucking hitting it hard. Got on the scale today. I was 186.2. And I got to get down to about $170, $172 for my special. So that's what I'm doing. And now I'm just driving by liquor stores. And last night I took Nia out. We had a great night, great summer night out here. I took her out to get some gelato. And I was like literally staying in the car because it's like, I'm not going to go in there. I'm not going into the crack store as a crackhead and fucking say, I don't want any crack. That's not going to work, right? But she did the woman thing like, it's not going to be any fun if I go in there by myself. So I'm like, fuck, all right. I go in and I'll fucking drive around the course. So I drive around the block, fucking park the old Prius, right? And I fucking go in there and like there's just the smell of sugar in the air was like, so palpable. I can't believe I wasn't like literally like feeling the grains of it, the granular texture of it going up my fucking nose. And I was just like, no, I'm good. She's like, you sure? You just want a bite? I was like, no. I'm a crackhead. You just want to take one hit off the pipe? It's like, no, I'm going to be back on it. So I just sat there white knuckling it. Fortunately, there was this young couple that had a little puppy Weimaraner, however you say it. So I got to play with that thing a little bit. But then I look over in the corner and they had fucking, they had like root beer, which is my favorite, other than that, than the orange Fanta, the Mexican one with the real fucking sugar, right? Which really makes me nervous about the wall that Trump wants to build. I mean, does that mean that we don't get the real Coke, with the real sugar in it, as opposed to the fucking hybrid sugar that they've been putting in our shit since the late 70s? Or whenever the fuck they did it, I didn't research it. But I was able to get out of there. And then we just took the dog for a walk while she ate an ice cream. Good, clean fun. I came home, and by then I was already going like... So like tequila doesn't have a lot of calories, right? If you have like a tequila with like a little bit of lime, and my wife's going, no, and she was laughing. She goes, look at you caving already. And she goes, I thought it was vodka. I don't know which one, right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm staring at my fucking liquor cabinet, which I would put up against the 96 Bulls, the 86 Celtics, the 85 Lakers, the 1927 Yankees. I would put my bottles up against that. Huh? You want to go Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig? I got fucking, I got Pappy Van Winkle. I got fucking Johnny Walker Blue. I got this fucking top of the shelf tequila. I haven't even looked. Like, I don't fuck around. Like, that's what I like is because I don't want to drink and drive or anything. And I also don't want to go out to fucking bars at this point. I'm too fucking old. So what helps is if you buy top of the line booze, you're just sitting at home like, why would I go out to pay 10 times more for fucking 10 times less, right? Why would I go out for hamburger when I got steak at home, kid? So I'm looking at this. It's like the fucking Oscar red carpet of fucking bottles of booze. I got some bullshit in there. I got some bullshit for like when I want to get fucked up. You know what I mean? When I want to get fucked up, it's basically... Well, I'll take you through my fucking alcoholism here. When I want to get fucked up, when old Billy Redcakes wants to get fucked up, I like a little Maker's Mark. You don't give a shit. Like, Maker's Mark is like the Mississippi River. I mean, it's never going to run out. It just keeps coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? The other shit is for, like, special occasions, So, I'll drink that or Johnny Walker Black. What else? Or a Patron Silver. I got a lime tree out in the front yard. It's one of the greatest things about living in L.A. is you can have a lime tree. You know what I mean? And honestly, you're just like, how much fucking guacamole can I make here? I either got to get some sort of drinking habit or these things are all going to go to waste. And I'll tell you right now, you get a giant fucking square ice cube. How thirsty am I making the fucking Alkies right now? You get a giant square fucking ice cube. And you stick that in a highball glass. You pour a high-quality fucking tequila over the top of that, right? And you squeeze a freshly picked fucking lime off your tree. You go out on your porch on a hot summer day and you drink that fucking thing, I swear to God. It's over, man. It's over. I don't know what you feel like. You feel like it's the 1800s, Which I don't want to make people who aren't white get all nervous because that was not a good time for them. But for a white guy, it was pretty cool. Things had settled down with the people who used to be there who now weren't. You could come rolling in afterwards, get yourself a spread, right? Sit out there. Would you be drinking tequila, though? I don't fucking know. There really is like 52 versions of U.S. history. It all depends on who tells it and how you remember it and how fondly or unfondly you remember it. Anyways... So I sat there staring at it. I was like, no, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. If you want to have a drink, have it tomorrow. And I went to fucking bed. I had a little bit of water. And then that was it. And I'm glad I didn't give in to the fucking ice cream. I didn't give in to the booze. Jesus Christ. I had a fucking turkey slices with and it was the fucking, like they took it out of the oven kind of turkey. All right? Not the fucking filled with salt. Cold cut turkey. It was right out of the oven turkey. So basically, I had a turkey that probably had its beak cut off. and was pumped with some sort of cow hormones. So that's about as healthy as you can get nowadays. But anyways, I got to fucking turn this. I got to turn the ship around here. So I got to go hard here over the next month. And being at home is not going to be a difficult thing, but it's going to be difficult when I'm on the road. I'm going to be fucking 183 pounds by next week. That's what I'm doing, right? No, 186. I'm supposed to be 186 by Tuesday. That's how it's working. Every Tuesday, I have a weigh-in. Every Tuesday, like the UFC, except I'm not tough and I'm not fighting, right? So 186, then 183, then 180, 177, 174, 171, and then I'll be right up against the special. If I just, sort of go easy that fucking week, I can be about 170, 171. That'll be fucking perfect. And I'll come out there looking like a champ, and then we'll see how the jokes hold up. And even if you don't like the jokes, just say, God damn it, he was really fit as a fiddle. He was fit as a fiddle. You got to give him that. Stand up at high school reunion. Oh, no. Oh, this just has fucking train wreck written all. If this is a comedian and they're going to do stand up at their high school reunion, that takes balls, man. All right, Bill, fuck you, sunscreen Burr. We've missed a couple reunions now. All my classmates are married with kids. So I'm guessing your significant other. I've been doing local stand-up for a while now, but that's been 2 hours away from where I grew up, and none of my classmates have seen it. SCENE. They haven't seen it. This is why it's great to get into show business, is you can be as dumb as me, and you can still be successful. Now, they've asked me to do a set for the reunion. I'll admit it's different for people you know, so your advice on going after the home crowd that knows you. Keep it clean, offensive, use your best shit regardless. What are your sunburned thoughts? My sunburned thoughts is you're out of your fucking mind. There is no fucking way. There is no fucking way I would do that gig. I'm going to stand up there in front of these fucking people that I knew for 15 years of my fucking life and haven't seen for 20 years. And I'm going to be, as I'm looking at them, trying to de-age their faces and figure out who the fuck is who. Oh, my God. And go right back to being like the pecking order. I'll tell you right now, you got balls. Like right now, the fact that you just said that, I'm going to do stand-up at my high school reunion is the Spider moment in Goodfellas where he goes, why don't you go fuck yourself, Tommy? And then De Niro goes, oh! Just like that pause. Shoots him in the foot. He tells him to go fuck himself. That's don't take no shit off nobody, right? Yeah, go ahead and, you know what, dude? I say you fucking do it. And this is the thing, dude. I would not hold back. I would give them both fucking barrels. The only thing you have to lose is if it goes bad, you're going to have a great panel story about bombing in front of people you haven't seen in 20 fucking years. My advice would be I would see the humor in this situation, how fucking ridiculous it is. That's what I would do. I would make some sort of joke that, after me, fucking Joe Blow over here is a biologist. He's going to come up here for 10 minutes and look through a fucking microscope or some shit. I don't know I have no idea what I would do. But I've actually, I've done something like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I've done something like that. I did stand up in a bar in my hometown, and it just so happened there was like, I don't know, there was like a table of people I went to high school with, and I'll never forget looking at them. The look on their face was, holy shit, that's that fucking guy I used to have snowball fights with. Like, they're not even listening to, they're just watching. This is the thing. They're psyched you're doing it. It's all about keeping your own fucking head together. And I'm not necessarily good about doing that. Like, I don't even like seeing the crowd before the show. I hate that. I hate when before I go into something, somebody goes, hey, Bill, looking forward to the show. Or like, hey, really like your stuff. I hate that because I always feel like, well, now what if I go in there and I bomb? Or what if you don't like my shit? And then you already said that you liked me. And then you're going to feel bad that you said that because I stunk. Like, after the show, I'll talk to people. After it went well and I felt like I gave you your money's worth, then I'm fine. But I feel like if I get compliments on the way in, I'm like taking out a loan. Does that make any sense? I don't know. So, anyways, all I gotta say is you got more balls than I do. I don't know shit. I haven't had a fight since like fucking 7th grade, and I was gonna say, and I lost, as I recall. Like, you forget getting your ass kicked. Oh God, I took a bad one. You know when you lose so bad you can feel your hair. That's how much my fucking head was on fire. Like, I could almost like close my eyes and mentally count the fucking hair follicles. That's how bad I lost that fight. Holy shit, well, my fucking, was it my left ear or my right ear? One of them was like so fucking hot and it was just ringing. You never thought like your shirt could hurt you until you got into like a fight. Remember that somehow your fucking collar of your shirt would leave like these ligature marks on your neck? Like, how did that happen? Jesus fucking Christ, that was a good one. For the other person, not for me. Then that was the end of my fucking fighting career. I had a bad fighting career, you know. I lost to a girl when I was in the 3rd grade. She was in 5th grade, though. Now, I got to tell you something. That was a big deal, okay? And if Conor McGregor can keep talking about how he went up a couple of weight classes, then I can make a fucking excuse that she was in 5th grade, all right? She had me by like, I don't know, 6 inches and above. She was a big girl. And I was trying to get the attention of her sister, who was in the 3rd grade, and she'd taken the kickball from me, and I playfully went up there to take it back from her, but I grew up, all I had was brothers, so I didn't know how to fucking interact with females, so I took it away the way I would take it from my little brother. I fucking ripped it away, and she was near the school, and me ripping it away caused her to careen into the school, which we all know are made out of bricks because of the 3 Little Pigs story, right? So it's made out of fucking bricks, and she hit her head on it and started to cry, and I was like, and I didn't know what to do. Shit, my wife cried last week. I didn't know what to do then. You think I know what to do 40 fucking years ago? I didn't, right? So she starts fucking crying, and out of nowhere, because the 3rd graders and the 5th graders had the same fucking recess, she came out of fucking nowhere. She came out of fucking nowhere! And just proceeded to I can't really remember what it was. I just remember it was coming from above. I don't know exactly what she hit me with. It was fists, but I don't know if they were hammer fists. I don't know what, but she fucking killed me. And you know what kills me? Is I held it together. I fucking held it together afterwards, you know, where you want to cry, but you're like, I'm not going to cry. You're trying to walk upright, you know, with your head's a little cocked, and I was trying to just fucking walk away. And I was all good, and I got about 5 feet away, and then this other girl goes, she shouldn't have done that to you. And then I fucking bursted out crying. Oh, it was a long, sad, sordid fucking tales of my fights. But dude, I had a lot of heart. Did you, Bill? You cried after a woman beat you up. You know what I mean? Anyways, she wasn't a woman. She was a child. And so was I. You know, when I look back at it, if I just fucking just had a little more head movement and I went for a single leg takedown, you know what I mean? I think I could have had her. But, you know, that shit was not mainstream back then. So, you know, I didn't get the underhooks going, and there was no way to get the triangle going with the figure 4 leg lock. So I lost that one there. My ex-girlfriend's sister. Hey, Billy Bergenstocks. I'm 26 and still in love with my high school sweetheart. We've been on and off again for 10 years and have gone through a lot, to say the least. Jesus Christ, yes. I just got back from a 2-week vacation with her where everything was perfect and we had the time of our lives. This is the woman I want to start a family with, and it became more and more apparent on this trip. Congratulations. What could go wrong? Here's the thing. I slept with her sister on a drunken, blacked-out night 3 years ago while me and her were not together and were on bad terms. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. My heart was broken, and I had a lot of resentment. I was 23, drunk, weak. Shut the fuck up, dude. You had a dick. You fucking jerked off to her while you were dating her other Get the fuck out of here. Don't fucking come at me. I got a dick too, all right? Don't fuck. And her younger sister came on to me. Oh, my God, you victim. Things were different then, and I was a mess. Listen, I'm not saying you weren't fucking heartbroken. You were fucking psyched the next day. There you go. You know what? You just got to check off a whole family. All you got left to do is bang their mother. That's got to be called something like the Grand Slam. You know, like when Tiger Woods won 4 in a row, and they were saying he won the Grand Slam. You won all 4 majors. Would be if you bang the mother and all the daughters. That would be the Grand Slam. The amount of guys laughing right now while the women are pissed. Well, a year or so later, me and my high school sweetie started talking again and started to become close, leading up to where it is now. I had an unbelievable guilt for what I did with their sister, the closer me and this girl got years later. It is the only thing that I haven't been honest with her about, and I had to tell her, you fucking idiot. No, you didn't. You should have talked to your sister and been like, look, what are we going to do here? You know? Is it? How does it make things better that you told her? That's such a... And then, like, for the rest of their fucking lives, that's going to be a problem between the two of them. Ah, Jesus. You shouldn't have said shit and just waited till 20 years later when the sister, you know, who never got married gets fucking hammered and you go, yeah, well, I fucked your husband 25 years ago. And at that point, you know, what are you going to do? You'd be like, yeah, it was in the fucking 2000s. What do you want from me? Anyways, he goes, well, a year or so later, me and the high school sweetie started talking again, blah, 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 blah. I had an unbelievable guilt. So I had to tell. So the last night of our vacation, oh my God, we were laying in bed and I told her everything. I took a slap. She was crying for hours and it was as ugly as you can imagine. Well, you know what, dude? I commend you. You got it off your fucking chest. He goes, I feel terrible and am torn on if it was the right decision to tell her. My friends are giving me mixed answers and I would like an outside perspective from someone who I respect greatly. Well, Jesus, well, I appreciate you respect me. I don't know, do you? If it was really bugging you and you felt like you had to tell her, good, you told her. You know? Now you don't have to worry about that fucking thing coming out of nowhere. He goes, it is still fresh and everything is confusing on what is next. We love each other very much, but obviously I fucked up big time. Do you think this relationship stands a chance? I really hope it does, but I'm worried I ruined it. She seems to be getting through it better than I thought after her first reaction. She told me she loves me, but I really hurt her and she needs some space because when I'm... she needs some space. I hope you don't have a brother. Because when I'm with her... Okay, she told me she loves me, but I really hurt her, and she needs some space because when I'm with her, she can't be mad at me. I'm not a scumbag, and this is completely out of character for me to do. I just made a terrible mistake. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. I will say, the fact that you actually feel this level of guilt, you're a better man than me, because I wouldn't have said shit. I just would have just been like, well, I hope this doesn't fucking come out someday while we're having pumpkin pie over Thanksgiving. And I bet there's a lot of people out there that live with that secret. My thing is not only the cowardly self-preservation that I would try to have, I'm also thinking, like, this is how I would have handled that situation. I either wouldn't have said shit or I would just break up with her and just walk away from it. Because I wouldn't say, hey, by the way, I banged your sister. And then for the rest of their life, they have to fucking deal with that. When I'm the piece of shit that did it. But I have to commend you that you actually felt that level of guilt and said something. Because I don't know. So it sounds to me that you're going to get past it. So the good thing is that now you don't have to worry about that fucking grand piano fall crashing down on your fucking life someday. So that's the upside. Maybe there's an upside that you told her where she'll have faith in you that, like, wow, this guy actually feels guilt about stuff like that, so I can't trust him. We were broken up while it happened. Let me see if I can get Nia in here for this one. Hang on a second. All right, the magic of the pause button again. The lovely Nia is here.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, ex-girlfriend's sister. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, really quickly, this guy, all right, I'll give you the abridged version. I've been on and off again for 10 years, just got back from a 2-week vacation with her. Everything was perfect. We had the time of our lives. This is the woman I want to start a family with. Here's the thing. I slept with his sister on a drunken, blacked out night 3 years ago while we met. While me and her were not together and we're on bad terms. My heart was broken. I had a lot of resentment. I was 23, drunk, weak, and her younger sister came on to me.
I don't know. I tell you, that's a rough one. That's a real rough one.
You like how he makes himself the victim?
Yeah, she came on to me. Okay.
I said earlier, dude, I have a dick too. Don't fucking lie to me.
Exactly. Stop it.
I said you rubbed one out to her before you fucking...
Yes, the seeds have been planted for a while that you've been wanting to fuck the sister. Don't try to act like, I was so heartbroken. You and the sister are both dirty.
Okay. So here's the deal. He goes, he felt terrible the last night of the vacation. He couldn't deal with the guilt, so he told her.
Oh my God.
He goes, I took a slap. She was crying for hours, and it was as ugly as you can imagine.
Yeah.
All right. She told me she loves me, but I really hurt her, and she needs some space because when I'm with her, she can't be mad at me. I'm not a scumbag, and this is completely out of character for me to do. I just made a terrible mistake. So he's basically saying, do you think the relationship stands a chance? I really hope it does, but I'm worried I ruined it. She seems to be getting through it better than I thought after her first reaction. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. You fucked her sister. It's over. That's it.
You think so?
Yeah, because, maybe there are some people who are more emotionally evolved than I am, but I couldn't get back. Like, that's her sister. Like, her sister's not going anywhere. And, like, how's it going to be at, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas and like all that kind of stuff? Like, you're just going to avoid each other or just kind of like, it's weird. Maybe the three of them can have
a threesome.
No,
and just get it out of the way. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You can't have a threesome with your sister. That's disgusting. That's gross. I would never want to see my sister
stand there talking to each other, and he's behind them.
Yeah, talking to each other.
Hey, remember we went to the water park?
Oh, God. Oh no! Stop. Unless the three of them sit down and both this guy and the sister are so repentant and so whatever, but like you'd never be able to trust them. You'd never be like, oh yeah, can you guys run out and like, get some extra sugar and more groceries?
Try not to fuck each other.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. She might be okay with him now, but in the end, she's going to choose her sister. Like that, no matter how her sister betrayed her, that's the sister. So you are disposable. You're just like the dude. That's her family. So if you think that you really have a chance...
But I feel like they're done too.
Her and the sister?
Yes.
Her and the sister will probably get past it.
Look, I have to say...
long ways from now, and it'll probably always still be there. But because they're family... family betrays each other all the time,
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think what she did was worse than what he did.
The sister?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. If we're going to, like, put them on who was the worst person in the situation, the sister, 100%.
So here's what I learned.
You never do that.
If you're with a woman, okay, okay, you guys break up and blah, blah, blah. If her sister comes on to you, like, you are effectively ending that relationship forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only
do you think he
the
should have told her?
with her and the relationship.
Do you think
with
he should have told her?
The thing about it is that he told her because he felt guilty. So it was to unburden his own conscience because it wasn't real. Because there's nothing in telling her that would make her feel better. And oh my God, thank you so much for being honest with me. That's the sister. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that.
Is nothing commendable that he had such guilt that he had to tell her?
Not really, because people are burdened with guilt all the time. And they like, I just had to get it off my chest. And it's like, great, congratulations, it's off your chest. Now I feel shitty. So was that really for me or was that for you?
Nia Renee Hill. Coming here, bringing the lumber.
Yeah, I'm not with that whole like, well, at least he was honest with you. It's like, for what? For me? No. That was all for him to unburden
I never
himself.
looked at it that way. Wow.
Yeah. Not that I don't think apologies are worthwhile, or it's not like I don't think that you should apologize for something you did wrong, but I just feel like you really need to question.
I was really hoping that's what you were saying.
Yeah. You really need to question your motivations for confessing something of this level. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you really trying to do? A lot of times people are just trying to unburden themselves.
Well, that's what I was saying. The best thing now is he got it out there, so he doesn't have to worry about that grand piano coming crashing down into his life someday. Like I'm saying, when they're having like fucking Thanksgiving dinner.
What I want to know is what is going on between the girl and the sister. Because obviously, that's no sister. That's no real, I don't know. That's what I'm more interested in. You know what's
something else? Why that's fucked up is because now you know that the parents know. You know?
You think she would have told the parents, like, Mom,
but if they know,
Stephanie fucked my boyfriend.
Yeah, and then they got to be like, oh my God, we raised a whore.
And I don't think that she's a whore.
I'm not saying she's not a whore. I'm saying, but
people make mistakes, but that's really
that's issues.
No, that's beyond.
That's a power thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's a total power thing.
It is. I wonder if this was a younger sister. And I wonder, like, who knows? But that's what I'm more intrigued about now. It's like, what's going to happen with these sisters? You know? That's some deep shit right there. So, I don't know.
That's like a power thing on her thing, saying, like, you know, as much as you're into her, you still can't fucking resist me. Mm-hmm. What is it?
Yeah, maybe so. Because who does that? Who goes after...
Nia, let us into the female mind.
I can't let you in on that. That's not a female thing. That's like a dirty ass hoe, bitch, nasty person. I don't know what that's like. I would never go after a relative's like significant other.
So where do you draw the line?
What do you mean?
Coworker. So you're not... Just so the people know, because you really have strong opinions on this. So I want to know.
I do.
So family, obviously.
Yeah, no, you don't do that.
It's about the family.
Yeah.
If this
is a person that is clearly in a relationship with somebody else, and you know they've been together,
I want to know.
Do that.
I want to know where you draw the line. Coworker, you guys occasionally have lunch together.
With the sister's coworker?
Yeah, and there's something the guy's got, like, he does like the paisley tie with the suspenders. You know that.
Oh, can't resist that.
Yeah, you guys always go nuts about that. No belt,
no
suspender.
belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you have suspenders, you don't need a belt. So, but anyway,
What if he has both? Suspenders and a belt, and then you think like,
then
wow,
I don't
this
know
guy,
what it is that you're trying to do.
Well, maybe
why would you have both?
Wouldn't that like get that thing, that female thing, where like you'd feel safe? Like, this guy's really going to have, like, he's going to have an alarm system and a gun.
Yeah, I know.
And a sword.
And wear 2 condoms? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, no. I mean, if they're not involved, if they're not, like, in a real relationship.
Neighbors.
Then, that's
neighbor.
not
Would you bang a neighbor?
Would I bang, like, my sister's neighbor?
No, not your sister's. No, we're taking family out of it.
Oh,
I'm saying, where is the line where it's just like, well, whatever, bitch, you know. Isn't that how you guys say? You put the hand up, whatever, bitch.
But what are you talking about?
I'm saying, because you're saying, like, that's family, you can't fucking do that. I was just trying to find a comedic angle here. Now
I see what you mean. I mean...
Neighbor, 2 streets over, your neighbor knew them, invited you over, and you went over there.
You know what? I have a real-life example of this.
The guy was an architect.
Okay, all right. I got it. I have a real-life example of this. During my prom... my senior prom, I went with somebody else.
You're dirty. Yep.
Wait a minute. I went with somebody who was just a friend, okay? But
Bismarcky?
my friend, yes, Bismarcky. He was just a friend. But my friend went to the prom with this guy that she had just met, and they were set up by another friend. He went to a different school, so they didn't really like know each other.
Here come the justifications. They just met. They were set up by friends, so I'm totally innocent.
So
just say the dirty thing you did.
Really connected during prom, and like, as you know, that was not what happened. As you know, my prom did not end that great. My parents like came and like took me from from this house that I was in because I was dumb enough, to tell them the truth. I called my parents because I was supposed to spend the night at a girlfriend's house, but instead, we were going to be hanging out at this boy's house. His older sister was there. There was a whole bunch of us, but we were hanging out. I was having such a great time that I called my parents and I said, hey, just so you know, I'm staying here. My mom completely flipped out, and she and my stepfather came and extracted me from the home. So that's how my prom ended.
Exactly.
So it didn't end on it was a very traumatic, but
great parents.
Ultimately, they did the right thing. But anyway, me and this guy ended up connecting, and we ended up dating afterward. So,
oh, that's different. I thought you were saying
we went in the bathroom.
Went into the front part of the limo and put the window up.
No. But it wasn't her boyfriend. They had just met. I think she definitely felt some type of way about it,
Only because he chose you over her.
Exactly.
You guys didn't have any sort of friendship?
No, she and I were really good friends.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Oh, that's a rough one.
But it wasn't her boyfriend.
There's been a lot of rough ones here. A lot of rough ones.
And we dated for a while. We dated up until, I went to college, basically, and that was the end of that. So it wasn't this long-term, torrid affair. It wasn't like he was my first love or anything. He was just really cute and a football player and liked Bob Marley. Hey, what can I say?
Oh, sordid details here. All right. Well, that's the podcast for this week. Geez, you came hard this week. You came hard. You really fucking just put that guy. You just said, you know what? That's it. It's a fucking wrap. And you know what? I think you're right. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I can say that.
Yeah.
As I sit here in my PJs.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. I got my microphone back. He's back from Europe, baby. He's back from Europe. I got my mixer. I got my fucking microphone there. I'm fucking wound up because I'm jet lagged. First of all, a lot of people sent me tweets. Were making sure I was okay because I was in Italy, where they had that horrible earthquake, unfortunately, and devastating. I actually had flown out 12 hours before that, but I was down on the Amalfi Coast, so I don't think I would have felt it anyways. But whatever. Nothing happened to me, so that pales into comparison to what happened to everybody else who was in the vicinity of it. So, fucking brutal. You know what's crazy was I looked it up to see when it happened, and there's a website that has all the earthquakes every day. And every day there's I forget, some ridiculous number. It was either 30 or 700. Either way, it was impressive. The amount of fucking earthquakes that there are. And, it just goes to show you that just things are just always moving and changing. I'm half in the bag right now, and I don't mean booze, because fucking Billy Booze Bag is clean Willie again. Woo! He's going clean until his special. I'm taping my special in Nashville, by the way, at the Ryman Theater. Doing 2 shows October 21st. There's a few tickets still left. If you like to go there and say, I was there when he did the thing about his fucking balls, doing the thing there with the fucking shit, you could say that you were there. Or you could just say it anyways. You could say, no one ever says, produce a ticket stub. When you really think about it, you say, yeah, I was fucking there. Woodstock, I was there. JFK, I was on the grassy knoll. Oh, yeah, there was other people there. I declined to answer that question. I definitely smelled gunshots, and my ears were ringing, but I'm going to stop short of saying that it took place on the grassy knoll. Yeah, so I am totally fucking jet lagged. And I've been doing a radio tour to promote all these dates I got coming up, getting ready for the special. Reno, fucking going to Virginia, fucking Charleston, South Carolina, all of this shit. Getting ready to do that. Doing the makeup date, finally, from the snowed-in days of Long Island. That's going to be September 7th, and I don't know where the fuck I go from there, but I know I head down south. Going down south again, man. And woke my wife up today because I was doing the fucking radio. Bubba the Love Sponge I think was the first one that I did, and that woke her up. She's looking at me like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm paying for the vacation. Go back to sleep. That's not what I said. I said, oh, I'm sorry, honey. Did I wake you? She goes, yes. And she goes, can you make me some waffles with turkey bacon? And I said, yes. Okay, you know why? Because that's how you shut these broads up. You know what I mean? You just go in the, what do you want? What do you want? Something with fucking sugar on it to keep your fucking menstrual flow and fucking cycle, whatever the fuck goes on down there? Okay, that's not my part of it. Okay, I'm like the race car driver. I don't know how to build the fucking engine, but I can get that fucker around the track. I don't even know what that means. So anyways, I was making the waffles, and of course, she likes turkey bacon, which evidently you can't stick in the oven. I don't like turkey bacon. It doesn't taste as good as pork bacon, and you don't know when it's done. When is turkey bacon done? Right? So, the pan was dirty, so I'm fucking in the middle of this radio tour, and I'm fucking making, I don't know. Somehow I was at the sink, I was fucking jet lagged, and the Greg Kinn band, Jeopardy, pops in my fucking head, and now I got to download it, right? And next thing you know, I'm fucking doing dishes, like 6:30 in the morning, right? Got my pajama bottoms on, fucking headphones just cranking, right? Where were you when I needed you? Something, bitch, right? So fuck you. You're a fucking whore. I don't need your shit anymore. It's so hard to be all alone. I know you're something, yeah. Oh, I loves it, Jeopardy, right? And then, of course, she's back upstairs. You're still waking me up. It's like, sorry, you know what I mean? What the fuck? I'm supposed to do a radio tour, wash the fucking pan and make waffles, and I'm not supposed to listen to 80s music? Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that at 6:31 in the morning? You know, so then I went on a Greg Kinn fucking binge, right? And you're something, and you're something, and you're fucking something. Boo-doo-doo-doo, gang. They don't ride like that anymore. Bow down. No, they don't. Negative. Not affirmative. He says no like 58 different times. I don't know how they do. I don't know how those lead singers do it. Like I would get stuck in my head like, oh, fuck, it's coming around again. And I got to say no in another unique way. No. No way. Rape. Whatever they fucked. I don't know. No means no, Greg Kinn band. So I came back to the good old US of A. Had a little contraband, if you know what I mean. I ain't talking drugs, man. I'm talking about, that fucking cigar habit got me again when I was over there. Those motherfuckers. And next thing you know, you go through fucking duty free. Next thing you know, you're down the street buying a humidor. And there it sits. Laughing at me, all shiny. Oh, God damn you, Bill. You're such a weak son of a bitch. But when I got home, aside from a month of mail, what I ordered 2 books when I was over there, and I was excited. One of them, it's going to kill me because this guy is such an underrated drummer. Like, I've never even heard the proper pronunciation of his name. So I forgive me if I fuck this. I'm going to fuck it up because I'm going to say it 2 different ways. Modal. You see, the Billy Squier drummer. Is it Bobby? Is it Chouinard or Chouinard? I don't know what, but he had a book, The Story of the Bobby Chouinard story, drummer extraordinaire, and I'm reading through that, and it's just a fucking great story, and killer drummer, and it's just, he's got his Modern Drummer article in there. It's got all his killer fucking Ludwig drum kits. It's got all these interviews with all these guys, fucking Steve Smith, and all these guys from the whole Boston music scene and all these clubs that they played. I remember back in the day when I'd be listening to WBCN, the Rock of Boston, they'd be like, oh, go check out fucking so-and-so down at the Channel or at the Tam or the Middle Eastern Tavern, the Paradise and all that shit. And I remember thinking, someday I'm going to go down there and I'm going to play drums. And you know what? It never happened. But, dreams die, and you get older, and you learn to accept things that, the simple things in life, little bit of apple cider as you watch the sun going down on your 9-year-old Prius. You know, those things. You learn to appreciate those things. You know, you're like, you know what, there's a lot of people out there that they would kill to have that dream. You know, not in this country. It's kind of hard when the people you're surrounded with, that's not their dream. It's kind of hard when they're laughing at that dream. Sure, that gets difficult. But if you could somehow transport that 9-year-old Prius to some of the poorest parts on earth, why, they would look at you like a king. And that's what you have to hold on to. Yeah, I'm just energizing my way through this fucking thing. So then I went on this fucking, this whole thing on WBCN. Like, I'm fucking looking up every article I can find. I ended up watching the last broadcast of WBCN. I didn't know it came out in 1968. I was born in 68. And for the first 41 years of my life, that fucking radio station was on the air. You know, they helped out Aerosmith. They helped out all these fucking bands, David Bowie, all these guys, all these pictures, Frank Zappa, all these guys coming to the station. And I was like, I need to know more about this shit. Next thing you know, I'm buying a book on it. See, I used to be in trucking. I didn't drive a truck. I unloaded the truck. That's what I did. I used to work in warehousing. I liked warehousing. Why? Because I didn't have a desk and there was a giant square footage area that as long as I was within it, I was considered doing my job. There wasn't somebody breathing down my fucking throat, you know? My neck, I should say. My throat, that was weird. Down my fucking neck as I'm supposed to be doing the spreadsheets or whatever it is. Those fucking poor people who sit in cubicles. You ever just walk by that maze of fucking cubicles, you know? If I worked in there every Halloween, you'd have to dress up like Jack Nicholson in The Shining and just limp your way through all of them with an axe going, Wendy! Wendy! Like fake icicles on your nose. You couldn't do that. Somebody would blow a rape whistle, or they would somehow feel it was sexist because how come a woman couldn't dress up? Why was he chasing a woman? You know, all the fun of it would be immediately taken away by human resources. One little call to human resources. You know, it would just all go away. The whole thing would go away, and then what? You'd go right back to the soul-crushing silence of 148 adults sitting in a maze of cubicles, wondering, praying, hoping for someday their dream to come walking through that door and get them the fuck out of that office. But until then, continue on with your spreadsheets. So I used to work out in the warehouse, unloading them trucks. You know, UPS driver, the FedEx driver, you know, half those guys would show up. They gave themselves their own tattoos for whatever fucking reason. All of them. Every fucking one of them had something in common. Was that they didn't want to work for somebody else, but they were too dumb to start their own fucking business. So what do? You get into trucking. I'll work for you, buddy, but you ain't going to see me for days. You understand? You don't know. Am I at this Crackle Barrel? Am I over there at the Denny's? Am I on the side of the fucking highway porn shop? You got no fucking idea. And as long as I bring that truckload of Q-tips in by Thursday, 9 a.m., I'm getting paid. Don't matter what the fuck I did for the last 3 fucking days. And I always related to those guys. I saw it. There was a freedom, yet you had stability. Okay, I'm getting a check every fucking week, but I don't got some cunt breathing down my neck. Unless you work for UPS. UPS was a motherfucker. They always had that fucking ride-along douche. The Ice Cube of UPS, right? And then you were the Kevin Hart character driving the fucking thing as he was reading you the riot act. Well, I guess in those movies, Ice Cube always drives. But you know what I mean. The hard ass, and then you were like the chick in Police Academy. Don't move, dirtbag, right? You were the fucking scared person. When they would come along and they'd write you up every time you didn't fucking put on your blinker, right? If you took the turn too sharp and all of that bullshit. So anyways, I went down this fucking rabbit hole and I ended up buying this book on WBCN that's just coming out. I know what I was going to say. So when I used to fucking work, brain is all over the place. When I used to work in the warehouse, we used to listen to that every fucking day. Charles Laquadera, the big mattress, and then the lunchtime song, you know, would come on, and it'd be like whatever the fucking hits were that day where they would just put lunch in it. And then Mark Parento would come on at 3 p.m., and then you knew it was almost the end of the fucking day, and he was like the coolest guy. He was like the rock star of the whole fucking thing. And I know he had some extracurricular activities. I'm talking about the man on the air. Man on the air was a fucking rock star from 3 to 6. It was the fucking greatest because he was the coolest guy, and then you knew that the day was almost fucking over, right? And you knew those guys were all doing fucking blow, and they were drinking. It made you feel, yeah, all I do is drink. These guys are doing blow at work. Why can't I get drunk on the forklift? They had that sort of influence on people in Boston. No, I'm kidding. They actually, when I was watching, I think Bradley J was the guy who did the last. I watched so many of them, and I was fucking jet-lagged. I think he did the last shift on WBCN, and they were talking about all the bands that they broke, all the stuff that they did, and they were saying all the fun stuff they did for charity, and they started talking about how WBCN had their own softball team called the BCN Ballbusters, and I was immediately like, no fucking way! I went to one of those events, and they go, yeah, one time we played this one band, but blah, 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 and then because there was another time we played this band, and they said Huey Lewis in the News, and I was like, I was at that thing! Screaming at my computer in Italy. Going, I fucking went to that, right? And they were like, yeah, where did we did that in like fucking Marblehead? And I was like, and I was screaming at the computer like they could hear me. I was like, no, it was at Nickerson Field in fucking, at Boston University. I believe when they still had a football program. And I went to that. I remember Huey Lewis pitched. I remember their bass player. He showed up dressed like he was going on stage. He had a long leather coat, and he had like the number 4 and then like tape on the back of his coat. He had a cigarette going. He was fucking hilarious. And everybody was rooting for Huey Lewis and the News except for me and my buddy. And we were heckling him. You know, everybody, was rooting for them because they were the rock stars. They weren't rooting for the fucking hometown, right? Bunch of fucking dick riders. And we was sitting there. We had a couple, 2, 3. Huey, you're going to lose. You got nothing, right? Everybody's staring at us. So anyway, I bought a book on that, and that's it. And I don't think I have anything else to fucking say, and I still got 14 minutes left. So this is where it becomes a quagmire. You know something? I just feel too much stress when I'm playing golf. There's always that group of people behind me. They're always better than me, and I feel like a fucking asshole, like I'm ruining their day. You know? Like a few times I've golfed, I feel the same level of stress like when I'm the first person at a red light to make a left, and there's like 5 people behind me. Like literally my heart starts racing because I know that not only is it my job to make sure that the person behind me makes it through the fucking light, okay? Like the person behind the person. This is how it works out here in LA, by the way, for all you Boston people, so you don't fucking almost get yourself killed. You know that move you do in Boston where the light turns green and you just stomp on the fucking gas and you cut in front of people? As far as I know, Boston is the only area of the country that does that. And it's totally acceptable. Like as soon as the light turns green, you just stomp on the gas and fucking cut in front of 2 lanes of traffic. Out here, if you do that, you're going to get killed. Nobody's ready for it. They're not good drivers. And it's going to be at least 3 lanes of shit coming at you. My brother came out and visited me one time, and I forgot about that move. And we were on like Venice Boulevard, and the light turned green, and he stomped on the fucking gas, and I just put my foot up on the dashboard. I was like, do. We made it halfway across, and he was like, like when you're driving and you don't know what's going on and the other person's freaking out, but you can't figure out what, you get like mad. I was like, do. And he just stopped. He's like, what? I fucking yelled at him. And everybody's beeping at him. And I was just like, dude, you can't do that out here. You can't. And he goes, all right. And we had to just sit there as everyone drove around us, looking at us like, what the fuck? Anyways, getting back to the golf thing. So out here, one of my pet peeves is fucking people who's the first people in line. Your job, you get out into the intersection. You get out into the intersection, right? And you make sure that not only the person behind you, the person behind you, behind the person behind you. There you go. 2 fucking cars back. Jesus, Bill. That's how I feel like when I'm golfing. I swear to God, one of these times I'm going to I got this GoPro for my birthday. It's still sitting on my desk, just mocking me, going, yeah, you thought you could figure this out, didn't you, Bill? Yeah, you really thought you were going to use this fucking thing. I would love to give a fucking tutorial on how to drive in LA. I really would. You know what I mean? And I'm talking just how to behave. There's too many fucking people out here. The traffic is fucking ridiculous. I just really want to do this. I'll even tell you how to be a good pedestrian. All right? You get in the crosswalk, you fucking hustle. Okay? You know what I mean? I've been walking, okay, and I'm approaching the intersection, and I see that person wanting to turn, and then they're looking at me like, fuck. You know what I do? I stop, I wave them through. Third base coach, waving like 5 cars through. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because the second this thing turns red, I can just run across. It'll be fine. 5 cars will fucking make it, and I'll get across. No biggie. Or I can be a douche and just completely not even pay attention to the situation you're in your car, acting like I've never been that guy, and just stroll across the street, and I'll fuck at least 2 people out of the light. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about right now? I'm talking about having a little bit of empathy.